Welcome back to Callahan's Corner, where you ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook. So got a really important Callahan's Corner today based on a question that was submitted off one of the Facebook user groups, and asked the gentleman permission to basically answer this question. I'm going to keep him anonymous, but I think this is a common thing that happens a lot with a lot of service businesses using multiple CRMs, customer relationship management software. So this one is particularly around Service Autopilot, but if you're watching this could be happening in any scheduling and billing software. So, hold on while I read this, and I'm going to dive in it and show you on the screen why I feel so passionately about the answer I'm going to give you. The gentleman says, my teams are using paper and not the mobile app. We often skip the dispatch board and add the invoices directly in as a transaction. So to translate this, basically what this gentleman and his company are doing is they are using non-mobile, so they're printing out the jobs. And I think if I'm reading between the lines, there's an essential, I'm going to say critical thing that is being missed here that could definitely lead to some issues for this business. And I want to get ahead of this and hopefully help this team and this gentleman understand why this extra step, even if you're not using the mobiles, is critical. And this is something that I did in my company through paper before we adopted the mobiles on two different software platforms. So very applicable no matter your software platform. He wants to know, why doesn't the minimum service rate engage when using this method? He wants to basically go right and add a transaction. He wants to add the invoice and doesn't want to go into the closeout day screen to finish the job and close it out because they're using their mobile. So what I'm going to do is open up the screen here and break this down. Happy to take some comments or questions along the way as well. But this is a good one. This is definitely a good one, and I'm happy to break this down. Now, this isn't exactly I'm going to say mistake or an issue that we had in my company, because we were really foundationally built around tracking time and process and system for production rate-based estimating. So as you look at this test account here, I've basically scrolled to the right and showed you. So I've narrowed this down to Mo Crew number 1. And what we have here is what the gentleman's referring to is he's printing it out. So I'm assuming he's going into the print icon here and printing out the actual paper copy. Now, the paper copy, if you imagine, has a start and stop time for each job, and you can write down who was on the crew up top. If that's the case, what you need to do is take that paper copy each and every day, and at the end of that day or the beginning of the next day, if you're not using the mobiles, I am going to strongly suggest that we go in and click into the service here and type the start and stop time. And in the clock here, depending who is on it, we have that time for how many guys or girls are on that crew. That is going to give you non-emotional data. So it's not enough just to go out and produce the invoices for the jobs that were created. Yes, we do need to get paid, but I think where the value of any software platform is going to be is your estimating, your scheduling, and your billing. Now, if you're going to take the time to manually create the transaction, spend the time to track this data, because this data is so valuable. So you're going to enter your start and stop times, update the crew. People, by default, your crew settings will be there. But if somebody leaves early or starts later, we can adjust it underneath that. And then we'll hit save. Now, why we want to do this and why this is so important is we've got budgeted hours now. So if your jobs don't have budget hours, we really need budgeted hours. And we have actual hours. So you'd look at this and say, well, if I'm budgeted for 21 and the guys and girls did it in 5.41 hours, then we kicked butt. But we really didn't kick butt, because what you really need to go is to columns, and you need to go into variance and actual hours, because this is a 2-man crew. So they actually had spent 10.32 hours. So obviously in this fictitious account, we would need to make sure this was updated. So I've been playing with this, so there is no actual hours because I've been manipulating it for this Facebook Live. But the idea is you've got your budgeted versus actual hours. So how long should have it taken, and how long did it actually take? And were you over or under budget, that variance of time? So what I'm going to suggest to this gentleman, everybody else watching, is you really want to use the closeout day screen. It is the most important screen in all of Service Autopilot, as far as I'm concerned. And we want to make sure there's a good start and end time, so it doesn't make sense. Did they clock in and clock out? Or if you're doing it in paper, did they write accurate times that make sense? We want to put those in, and after you physically type it in, or it loads automatically in the mobile, so that may be worth the extra $15 per mobile just in time savings alone. So that's where I may challenge that a little bit, depending on the size of the organization. But do the start and stop times make sense all the way down? Do we have budgeted hours for every job? Also very essential. And then, do we have actual? And if I had saved this, it would automatically load in there. So it's something you would probably never see. But if you are physically typing them in, that's something you want to keep an eye on. And do we have a rate? So I went through and deleted the rate of this first stop here, $0. So you need to have good start and stop times, budgeted time, and a rate. And then under the columns here, we want to go in and add actual and job variance. So we have very clear, transparent things here. Now, whether you're using the mobile or printed, you want to go into the More tab and hit Assign Teams. So you, by default, you're going to set up your teams. But if we have a no-call, no-show employee, or there's an issue, this is going to update your payroll if you're using it, your job costing, and your production rates. And we can literally drag and drop those individuals off the crew. So on Mo Crew 1, if Rick wasn't there today, we could drag him off and drag somebody back on. So that's how we're setting up the drag and drop. And that is going to be, as you scroll to the bottom, that is going to be update end times based on budgeted hours and assignments here for that particular day only. So that is one way that we highly recommend adjusting it on the fly, especially if you, before you print out those manual ones. It's going to get you the right people printed out on those jobs each and every day. And we can track who's efficient and who's not. So the next thing we want to do is, once we've got this set up in Service Autopilot, if you're billing daily, weekly, or monthly, those invoices are going to automatically generate. So then you don't have the manual process of going through each and every customer and creating those invoices. So if you're going to spend the time to do it manually, anything, create the start and stop times for each client, get all that data, and let the system automatically generate those invoices with a proper time. Now we've got all the right information in for our production and job costing reports. So as I pop out the screen here again, this is kind of what we're diving into. So what you can do then is pull the information off that closeout day screen, type in a start and stop time, total hours, lunch, and how many crew members are on that crew. And what it's going to do is get you your gross hours, subtract the lunch if there was some, and get your total work hours. That's that payroll liability number versus your so that's your work hours is your actual hours. And then the budgeted hours is what you budgeted from all the budgeted time. And the sheet's going to say, are we over or under budget? And that's going to give you a percentage of 100% at budget, over or under budget. And then we can go out and take these numbers and give them to our crews with a quality constraint. So we have public accountability. And you as the business owner now know, are we on pace to make money? And where is the efficiencies on each crew and the services? So if we go directly in and create a transaction, we're going to lose all of that. So we really need to go in and make sure we got start and stop times on that closeout day screen. And don't worry about making the invoices. Even if you want to make them daily, set that on your defaults to Service Autopilot and automatically generate one or several thousand invoices. That's a huge time saver. And then we could take those public accountability scores and create a sheet here. So this was something we had at Callahan's, where we've got our percent of budget, a quality score for each day, and then it averages weekly results. So we can go in off the original sheet here and take the percentage of budget and transfer it each day with a quality score for each crew, so everybody in the company knows where everybody's at. And you as the business owner have a very high level 40,000 square foot view of where you're at, budget versus actual profitability. Now, the main thing is, now that we've done that, we can go out and, based on the start and stop times in this sheet, we can go in and say, based on this $54 cut here, these two times, 54 and 60, and it goes 54.28 and 60.31. On average, we generated $57.30 per man hour revenue. Those two numbers are driven from the start and stop times on the closeout day screen. So instead of physically spending the time to create an invoice, we want to take the time to enter the start and stop time. So now I can go back and see all 30 lawn mowings, how much revenue did I generate per man hour? And I can go in and export this out, or through an automated report that I'll show you here, and plug in. So I want to make $60 per hour. And if I'm only making $57.30 on this particular property, the sheet says you need to raise your price $2.56 to the T to hit your $60 an hour threshold. So this is going into the end of the year here, the non-emotional way to raise your prices and not raise the prices on the customers that are above your hourly goal or threshold. So if they're losers, we raise them up. If they're making good money, we leave them alone. We don't want them to shop our competition. So V2 KPI and accountability is we've automated this report and service autopilot where all that data now automatically transfers into SA. It checks the clock's time in and out, the budgeted time and the job amount, and it tells you if you're above or below 100%, and that's the number you can put on the wall. And if this shows up in red, as you'll see on the next screen, somebody needs to go back into the closeout day screen and either check the manual typing or the mobile. So it's an automated KPI daily and week review. And the job costing report, as you see here in the red, says, hey, I got some bad data. You need to go back to that closeout day screen and update that. But if you use the example here up top of these 3 sample mowings, same exact thing. If our hourly goal was $55 per hour, in order to hit that threshold, they would need to raise the price $5.04 per mowing. So now, kind of a little outside of the scope of the question, but just to drive it home, that's the importance. So we don't want to just create invoices for jobs inside Service Autopilot or any other software. We want to track the start and stop times. And even if you're printing them out manually, type them in manually. I'm going to suggest the mobile is going to save you some time. But for the amount of time it takes to add the start and stop times for every job is going to be about the same time it's physically taking you to go in and add the transaction. But when you run it from the closeout day screen, it will automatically generate those invoices for you weekly, daily, or monthly based on your setup. And you're going to get a hell of a lot more information and the ability to create accountability on daily and weekly scenarios for each crew and the ability to raise the prices on just the accounts to the penny that you're losing money on or not hitting your hourly goal. So comments or questions, drop below. Callahan's Corner. You ask the questions. We answer them live right here on Facebook. Very passionate about this one, as you can tell. Really, really need to not skip the closeout day screen, but spend the time there and let Service Autopilot automatically generate those invoices. And now we have the data to make non-emotional pricing decisions and accountability and tracking of your profit on each day and each week, and then down to the specific job at least twice a week or twice a year. And I'm going to recommend doing your job rate cost raising based on these reports in July and end of November, beginning of December. That's what a process I'm going to recommend for a successful service business, lawn care, home cleaning, pest control, or any other service. So comments, questions, drop below. Happy to answer them live on the recorded version. Callahan's Corner, you ask a question, I answer them live right here on Facebook. We'll see you again tomorrow with a pre-submitted question.